Some people always ask me, what happened to AniPod?
Glen, what happened to AniPod?
What did happen to AniPod?
I don't actually fucking know. I don't know what happened. I actually have no idea what happened, but we're recording right now in a pandemic. And nothing's changed, really. These two still don't watch anime. I watch anime.
I think it was a way of just sitting on the most generic name for an anime podcast.
I know, but we were the first ones. Not really.
No one else came up with the name AniPod. For some reason.
Yeah. Everyone came up with like weird other names, but yeah, just let us have AniPod.
To be fair, AniPod is such a generic name. If you saw it like on the sidebar, would you listen to a podcast called AniPod?
If it had you in it.
Aw. Matt.
Yeah?
I hate you.
Oh.
I remember why I don't like recording this, actually.
It's
So,
it's just that moment of going, oh,
anime podcast.
What? Why did we do this?
Yeah, that's probably why most things stop. But anyway, I gotta know, have you guys watched an anime recently?
Surprisingly, I have.
Yeah.
Which is weird, because I watched nothing over winter.
I watched nothing over 2019.
Yeah. Why did AniPod stop? That was the answer right there.
Yeah, that's true. I didn't watch anime for like half a year.
I think good anime just has to come out. What am I supposed to fucking watch? Firefighters, like, doing firefighter things?
I mean, Firefighters is okay. I think it's just like, it's kind of that genre fluff that you just don't care about.
I don't know. A lot of anime, maybe it's me getting older. Maybe it's me just living in Japan. I don't know. But a lot of it
it's definitely you living in Japan.
Yeah.
For a moment there, I genuinely thought you were going to talk about, like, the Australian bushfires.
No one cares.
No.
Let Australia
said,
burn.
I've been watching Firefighters. I was like, oh, I did too.
I'm not the biggest fan of koala bears, honestly. Or emus.
I mean, Fire Force had a good production. It's a pretty looking show, but I wouldn't recommend watching it to most people, especially
I
you
watched
two.
episode 1, and it was kind of like...
Oh, episode 1's super generic.
Yeah, it's like, oh, this is really cool
pretty.
animation, but I don't care.
No, yeah, I noticed some cool cuts, and even Demon Slayer, I've seen clips of it, and Demon Slayer is a really pretty looking show. The production of it looks really good. It's just, I don't I can't say I haven't actually seen the show.
It does, but when it comes to like, let's talk like cinematography-esque bullshit, and let's be like pretentious, like, you know, the classic Glen move back then was let me throw all these words in and make me sound smarter than you two. I loved doing that, and I still do, but I'm gonna try to. I didn't use vignettes in conversation; those were my scripts. But like, it's a pretty show, but like, it's not like that special of a show.
I feel like there's a couple of special episodes, but the show as a whole, like, especially like the youth standards that we've gotten so accustomed to, it can't, especially early, like, there's one episode where pretty much the whole thing is just manga panels moving, and it's one of those episodes with actual like fights and stuff, and it's just so boring to watch because you could see that that's just a manga panel.
If I'm being honest, a lot of the fights just felt like there were some good ones, obviously, like Kimetsu no Yaiba. We're not going to call it Demon Slayer here. In this house, we use Japanese. The fights just didn't really feel impactful in any way. There wasn't any like narrative emphasis behind them a lot of the time, besides like maybe a few fights. Like, it was just like they were fighting, and it was like, like, I don't care. Like, they're fighting, I guess.
Yeah.
That looks cool. It's something my stepdad would like, probably.
Yeah, I think that's kind of...
But that's a generic white guy from Ohio, so is that who you want to aim for?
That's kind of a good point. I can't think of any fights in the show that, like, actually have a personal drive behind them, because it's kind of just Tanjiro walks around, finds demons, fights them.
Can you even think of any conversation that like left an impact on you? Because when I think of like anime that I really like, I always think of this one, not particularly a quote, but just this one moment of two characters interacting like that, because that's what I care about a lot, is that sort of interaction. I can't think of anything from it. Like, the only thing I want is like the two like siblings to fuck. Like I ship them because I'm a fucking degenerate. And that's about it. Yeah, I'm just putting it out there.
Thanks for putting that out there. The only conversation I can remember is the one from it must be like episode like 21 or 22 or something, where you meet like I can't remember their names, but like every shonen manga has them, where it's just the legendary group of people. And to me that is the worst episode of the show, because each of them, they have that thing where each of them has to say a thing, and they've each got to have equal screen time. And so you like Tundra will say something, and then each of them will have a reaction, and then something will happen, like there'll be a like little scuffle, and then they'll each have their own distinct reaction, and it was so painful to watch. And that's the entire episode, because they spend so much time with these wacky characters. One Piece is full of it. That's
a problem with like those like weekly shonen series. They always just have the worst fucking comedy.
Yeah.
I'm not even that hard to please. Like, I'll smile and laugh at stuff and like and enjoy it, but like I don't know, put some thought into the punchline. To be fair, that's a problem with a lot of like anime, is like they're just not funny.
Speaking of funny anime though, there has been one funny anime that I actually do care about.
That is the worst transition.
I know it's a bad transition, but I'm done talking about Demon Slayer. I haven't seen it. I don't fucking care about it.
That's fair. I mean, I don't. But I mean, to be fair, who the fuck wants to talk about Kimetsu no Yaiba? What's there to talk about? Let's talk about
Kaguya-sama, which is a really good show, and it's the only show that I've honestly been watching. That's the only show I watched in 2019. And enjoyed.
Dude, I swear you watched more.
No, I tried other shows, but I never finished them. Kaguya-sama was the only show I completed in 2019.
Oh. Is that like, so would you say that's your glowing recommendation?
Yeah, no, Kaguya-sama is a great comedy.
If Matt likes the show, that's a good recommendation most of the time. That is like special. Like, they should put that on the Blu-ray cover. Matthew Lee, RCAnime. RCAnime approved.
Yeah. The stamp of RCAnime approval.
Did you see the most recent episode where it's literally just Bake? It's literally the fucking first episode of Bake, man.
Yeah, I know. Well, no. That wasn't the most recent episode. That was the very first episode of season 2.
Was it?
Yeah.
Am I that behind, dude? I don't know what's the days have gone behind me at this point.
No, yeah, that was the first episode of season 2. I swear.
Okay, I believe you.
I remember kind of thinking that it was like Monogatari, but I didn't put 2 and 2 together until that tweet came out where someone put them side by side, and they're actual parallel.
It's because Shinichi Omate. I love that man.
Yeah.
That is the appeal, Callum, for one, is Omate.
He worked at Shaft, by the way.
Okay.
For those who don't know.
The director for X Shaft, done a lot of other things. He did Rakugo. He did Grand Crest Senki, which was a weird show, but it was
Grand Crest Senki was good.
No, it was. I liked Grand Crest Senki. It was just like, it didn't feel like Omate a lot of the time, and that's really important to me because I love the Shaft boys, especially all the ones who have left and gone on to not be so restricted by the idea that Shaft has to have a particular style, because that is Shaft. Is Shaft that literally. Like, when Shaft was made, the entire idea was to sell themselves as this particular specific style. Like, it's not bad style, obviously, but when every director has to follow it and kind of be that, not that happens that often. That is, a lot of them did blossom there. A lot of them did blossom there, and then Aniplex bought Shaft, and a bunch of them, like, Exodus happened, and then a second Exodus happened, and who the fuck knows what's happening at Shaft now? For the love of God, you think I'd know because I love them so much? But to answer your other question, Kaguya's good because, okay, Callum, did you ever like a woman?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, you did. Did you ever like a man?
No.
Okay, I'm just making sure. I just gotta know. It doesn't really matter whoever you liked. In school, you liked somebody. there is somebody you liked, you had a crush. Even if you're an adult, you probably have like a crush on like, I don't know, someone you work with. Maybe, I don't know. Saying crush as an adult feels kind of weird, but I do think it's something that still exists.
Yeah.
Not me, I hate women. Only anime girls. But
We're well aware.
so why the fuck am I talking about relationships in this way? But I feel like that feeling, it really nails it. I never had the feeling of the girl liking me back, probably, but Kaguya's contrast of those two feelings from the girl perspective and the guy perspective, from Kaguya's perspective, is especially fucking good. It's just when you see a pair of potential lovers kind of overcoming obstacles to find each other, to get each other, and struggle to maintain this subjective knowledge of their love, it just reflects, it allegorizes this conundrum central to love, to the philosophy of love, that it's fucking sucks and it's hard, and it's really hard to communicate to the person you like, even if you're already dating. If you're not dating, it's love is love, and Kaguya-sama kind of has this feeling that's I like it.
Thank you for ultimately summing it up to I like it.
Gotta end on something simple.
Is it about an active relationship? Because my problem with a lot of the high school romance anime, like, they kind of end with the confession, or they end with the kiss or something.
No, yeah, that's I hate that too. I don't mind it, but I would like to see the relationship.
Yeah, no, I really don't know why so many manga and anime don't build on the relationship building. It's like quintessential quintuplets, for example. The show hasn't gotten to that point yet, but the manga ended, and basically the second to last chapter is when the confession finally happens, and in the very last chapter skips to the wedding, which kind of, I think they skip about 5 years or so, and there's just 5 years of story there that you could have had for quintessential quintuplets, and the characters are entertaining enough. Like, we still want to stay with them, and we've been building up to the point where the main character of quintessential quintuplets chooses one of the quintuplets, and after he chooses it, it ends. I mean, we don't really get to see as much of a payoff as I had wanted to. Kaguya-sama is totally different, because Kaguya-sama, the manga is still going, and it's building on a lot of things that you wouldn't expect other manga or anime of its genre to build on.
I mean, didn't you tell me that you didn't like where it's going? This is a while ago.
No, that was just a one-off arc.
Okay. That
I think was used to extend the teasing of something, but in the end, they pushed through with what they were gonna do. So it's kind of hard to explain, but there is this one roadblock arc that felt frustrating, because I was expecting Kaguya to fall into the same category as a lot of other stuff of romance and whatnot, but ultimately it didn't. Ultimately, it was a one-time thing. So yeah, no, I take that comment back. I still don't like that arc in particular, because it just felt, it just foiled the pacing.
What arc was it? What was the name?
I don't remember the name of the arc. It's just sort of like, I guess you can consider it an amnesia arc of sorts.
That sounds terrible. That sounds awful. I hate that word when it comes to anything narrative.
It's just like a reset, and just
It wasn't a full reset, but it was sort of like a reboot for a short moment. In the end, it didn't matter too much, though. At least I don't think. I mean, when you get to that point, Glen, let me know. Mm-hmm. But what I love about Kaguya-sama is that everything that happens throughout the story, even the gag chapters, they still live on in the characters' memories. It sort of makes it feel like every gag you're watching is not just for a laugh at that moment. It is, to some degree, part of the character's development. Like, one of my favorite gags is Chika always having to train... I forgot his name. Always having to train the president to, like, do something ridiculous because he's, like, awfully bad at it. And as the show progresses, Chika sort of, like, becomes more and more jaded with just the world as a result.
And I love that. I had a conversation with someone where I talked about the kite show, where I talked about Shirogane, and he didn't like that. It was actually a girl. I spoke to a girl. She didn't like that Shirogane, like, because you talk about Chika always training him. He always trains because he wants to be this perfect image in front of Kaguya. She didn't like that Shirogane was just trying to be what he thinks Kaguya wants. He's not like being himself, but in my mind, everybody does that. They kind of change themselves a little bit to appeal more to the person they're with, whether it be like even like not even like relationships, whether it just be with even friends and stuff. So I think like Shirogane is like, especially since he wants to get, that's also really good because he's like sold as like this person who's like a genius, obviously, who knows everything, but he's not good at things, and he actually has to become good at things. It's humanizes him a bit more than in most other like romantic comedies, especially for a male protagonist.
And like what you said, I think it's pretty realistic in that all the characters are trying to act in a certain way depending on who they're with. Like even Hayasaka, she is completely different depending on the person she's with. The manga even makes jokes about that at points, and you know, it's like the Shakespeare quote, all the world's a stage and all the men and women merely players, where we just act as different versions of ourselves depending on who we're around. And the story Kaguya just finds a lot of comedy around that, and the comedy is absurd comedy, which just makes it really easy to watch. It's sort of like taking all the absurdity from Death Note and putting it in what feels more right, because sometimes a lot of the ideas in Death Note are just so ridiculous. It doesn't even, like, sure, maybe it's genius, but it's like genius that's so ridiculous it's hard to take seriously. But in Kaguya, the comedic aspects of it just make it a better fitting.
I feel like the absurdity is quite based in like grounded in reality, like a lot, like in actual relationships. Like it doesn't like go the far, like as far as like, I don't know, how do you pronounce it again? I haven't. That really good show. Asobi Asobase, was that it?
Asobi Asobase?
Yeah, that's it. Like, it doesn't go as far as that. Everything's grounded when it comes to its comedy. Like, it's absurd, yeah, but like, I feel like that's like, to answer your question, Callum, it just feels relatable. Okay. Like, I hate to use that word, but like, I really feel like it is relatable, especially to me, because I used to be a lot more normal in like middle school, elementary school, that stuff, where this sort of like pet relationship, love, crush things kind of blossom. And then I started busting nuts to anime girls like crazy, and I don't know what the fuck went wrong, man. I'm just everything's gone wrong.
There's your problem.
It's a reminder of a past self. A self you discarded.
Yeah. It reminds me of a path that could have been better than where I am now as a true anime fan degenerate.
Glenn, I couldn't imagine you in any other way.
Neither could I. Neither could I. But at the same time, girls must be disgusted when they look at me.
That's not true.
They can just tell. They can just tell. Also, there's this one manga that's really interesting. You know about it. It got an anime. Bokuben. We Never Learn.
Yeah, I watched about that.
Yeah, I really like that. I really like it. The anime was okay, thing, but like the manga,
it's a jump thing, isn't it?
Yeah. It was basically the replacement for Nizukoi. In fact, his art looks really similar to like Nizukoi. I think he was an assistant for the Nizukoi mangaka. Okay. But his manga ended technically. I was really pissed off. Were you pissed off at the end of Quintuplets, Matt, at all? Like all the girls are good, but you know, were you like disappointed?
Disappointed, not pissed off.
I was pissed off at Bokuben, because Bokuben was also ending, and that's like a harem, which girl is he going to be with kind of series. So it gets to the end, right? And I'm like, well, that's fucking awful. I'm like, why is it going this way? I'm like, not because of the girl, not because of the specific girl, but because of like the way he rejected the other girls. Like like how in Orimo when he rejects Kirineko, and it's just like, ah! You just get so fucking mad. I was so fucking mad. But then, in Bokuben, it does something so unique for a manga. It's different routes. There's multiple endings. He's having an ending for every girl. And I don't know. I like that, but I don't know if I like that. Because I kind of would have preferred, like, this is the girl who wins. Like, I guess
you would call a cop-out ending? It's not even a harem ending, is it? It's just a cop-out ending.
Maybe there'll be a route for a harem ending, but I don't think it's comp-out. Because I prefer this way versus how the original way was ending. I feel like harem manga authors...
You mean like the To Love Through Darkness way?
Let's not talk about To Love Through Darkness. It's just sad. It'll come back. It's gonna come back. To Love Through is gonna come back.
And just not end again.
The thing is, you know how To Love Through ends. It ends in a harem. There's no way it ends any other way.
Yeah, I guess. That's true.
I guess, like, maybe at the end he'll be like, I like you the most, and pick favorites and be an asshole, maybe.
Like, tier his harem?
He's gonna go on. He's gonna have a YouTube video tiering my wives.
That's gonna be the very, very last chapter of like the new To Love.
If it does, dude, the Dolan and Franks manga's done. The artist Yabuki, he's not doing anything now. He's got to come back to To Love Through. He's gotta.
He wants to, right?
He said that it wasn't the end.
Yeah, he even mentioned the spin-off. I don't even know if the spin-off has been published yet.
I don't know if he could do a spin-off. I don't know how... I mean, Mikan is super popular. I fucking love Mikan. But I don't see a Magical Girl Mikan spin-off getting more than, like, 10 chapters.
Probably not. I mean, the light novels for Konosuba, they had, like,
those end,
there was, like, a Megumin spin-off.
Oh, yeah. No. Yeah.
I don't know how long that went on
That's still going. No, that's still going. That's still going, I'm pretty sure. It's, I haven't read it, but I'm very happy that spin-off exists. Megumin's fucking great.
Yeah, Megumin is great. I mean, Konosuba is great, and I'm devastated that the light novel is ending. I hope that there's a season 3 coming along the way, because Konosuba is one of the best things ever to happen.
No, it's actually, now that I think about it, yeah, it's scary that the novel is ending, because when things, even if it has other media like the spin-off novels and whatnot, I don't see it getting another season if the main series is over.
Yeah, because there wouldn't be much incentive to...
Especially since it's fucking Kadokawa.
Yeah, I mean, I could see some reasons, like, sort of just maintaining Konosuba as a talked about media, because if there's no more new light novels being published, then you can just adapt the rest in an anime, so there's still some media that is gonna be released.
I bet Kadokawa was like pissed when he was like ending it.
Kadokawa is just, oh god. Well, whatever. Konosuba is good. I think we've already talked about this before.
Probably. So. I mean, who the fuck here is like, who's gonna like see this in the descriptions and actually click it? Who watched AniPod like 3 years ago, or who are they from Anifix? Girls in Panzer Das Finale, man.
Oh my god, Girls in Panzer Das Finale is so fucking good. I mean,
we're gonna be 30 when it's done.
Yeah, if it's gonna come out every 2 years and there's still 4 left, Glen and I will be 30 years old.
Wait, it's a series?
It's the 6 parts.
I thought the fact that it's... Because I remember them announcing it, but I thought that meant that they were ending.
They're not ending it for another...
Nah, it's 6 parts.
10 years, probably.
Girls in Panzer is way too popular for this to be the end.
Yeah.
There's absolutely no way.
No, the ending is literally 6 parts.
I mean, and even after the 6 parts, there's no way. They have to make more. They have to.
After the finale?
The finale for these characters.
I guess then you do a spin-off, I guess.
But there's the Girls in Panzer world, the lore of Girls in Panzer is massive. It is actually... I would say it's as massive as the MCU at this point, because there's so many fucking characters. There's so many things you could do.
Has more character than the MCU.
It has more characters than the MCU. It has more likable characters than the MCU. It's like, imagine the MCU, but everyone is Tony Stark.
Yeah.
Okay. Is that...
I would hate that.
Is that how we're meant to think
I would hate that. Don't describe Girls in Panzer as that ever again. I hate that.
Alright, Callum, what do you...
I mean, we could talk about Villainess.
Yes!
Which I think is like the one shining star of this season. Especially, like, it hasn't been delayed.
Okay, no, with Kaguya-sama too.
Oh, okay.
Those two shows, yeah. Villainess is like probably the first show I've liked since winter 2019.
Wait, that was the air date of the original Kaguya-sama, wasn't it?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I didn't like any show for basically over a year until Villainess, which I think is great. Villainess is a really fun show. I love how... I mean, I'm not too big into the isekai genre just because a lot of the time, to me, the isekai genre is just some author fulfilling his fantasy of escaping Japanese society, but without really pulling the effort of escaping Japanese society, so he hopes that he dies and then he goes into another world, and that potentially gives him a chance to start again from square one and become a completely different person and fuck some European fantasy anime girls from like Lord of the Ring.
Is that such a bad thing, though?
I mean, it's not a bad thing if it's like, maybe happens once, but if it's every single piece of isekai, then I do like the isekai stuff that, you know, sometimes has a bit of a twist to it. Like Villainess has I think a really great twist to it, because being reincarnated as a villain in a character that you've played, and you know that if you walk, you're walking a tricky tightrope because you could just die at any moment.
Yeah, I like that it didn't start it's one of those concepts that doesn't necessarily have to be an isekai, and I think that makes the best isekai series. Like the whole series could have just been about like a girl who suddenly sees the future or something like that. So it's quite cool to and like I feel like that's my new thing, like wholesome isekai. Slime, reincarnated slime was like
only slime wasn't funny.
You should watch Princess Connect. You should really watch Princess Connect.
Princess
watched
Connect,
the first episode.
What is even the plot of Princess Connect? What is going on there? Is it
they're just big chillin'.
They're just
but
the
going
thing
around
about like big chillin'
stuff
is that like your characters have to be entertaining. I mean, sure, the cat girl is fine, but I can't. The other characters, I just feel like maybe it's because it's from the director of Konosuba, so I'm always thinking of Konosuba when I'm watching it, but the characters just aren't as colorful as, not even like comparing with Konosuba, the characters just aren't colorful.
Yeah, but the Konosuba characters are completely different.
Yeah, they are completely different.
I understand what you're saying, but how many episodes did you watch? 1?
3.
You watched 3? Wow, I'm surprised.
Yeah.
Calling me shocked. Jesus Christ.
Because you kept on criticizing me for watching only 1 episode, so I wanted to prove you wrong.
I know, but I also hate the 3 episode rule, but it's fine if you drop it after that. It's just I'm a big Princess Connect fan. I've been playing the game for like 2 years. It's one of the first like gacha games I had to play it in Japanese, so I had to actually study to actually play it. Like one of the first gacha games. Like I read some like fucking eroge and jerked off to some porn in Japanese before that, but you know. So I really like it. So when I hear like I like the show a lot, but maybe it's just because I've known the characters for so long that like I don't want to sound like an asshole because I'm probably just obsessed with them is probably the word.
I think that's kind of part of it. Like I've been getting really into Grand Blue Fantasy recently.
Yes.
So I started watching the Grand Blue anime, which the anime isn't great, but I still
I like
to watch
the
it.
anime's dude. Like, there's an OVA with the girl character Vegeta. That's a great episode. That's a great episode.
There's more than just one as well. I think there's like
I think
2 or 3.
there's a second OVA which came with the second season. I haven't watched it yet. She's such a.
I watched the second OVA, but
she's so much more colorful than Gran.
Every
single time these fucking gacha games get anime adaptations, they always pick the male option and go for the most. Like, not that the males are always boring, but they always make them boring. And I like Gran. But he's fucking boring in the anime.
He is, because like in the gacha, he's a silent protagonist, and Vern basically says all of his lines for him. But now it's like they just take turns saying Vern's lines. But I feel like my attachment to the anime is because of the attachment to the gacha. But I feel like because I have no interest in Princess Connect, there is nothing really appealing about the opening episode of
well, that's completely fair. Well, the thing is, it's about them, like, they're eating. That's literally, like, I understand. I understand. You should add me on Grand Blue Fantasy, by the way. But you guys were talking about Villainess. Since you actually haven't Like, I don't think there's that much interesting to talk about the Princess Connect anime besides it's not Konosuba.
The composting's good.
Oh yeah,
For
no.
Princess Connect?
Yeah,
Or-
Princess Connect.
Yeah. No, yeah, like the show like looks good. It's just the characters. I guess one way I can compare it with like Villainess is that for Villainess, it's such a interesting take on a story, or it's such an interesting sort of story setup that I want to see what happens next, which is, I guess, it has been the problem for me with like anime for the past year. It's that I have not seen a show where I want to watch what happens next. And now Villainous is a show where, you know, I want to see her hit these doom flags and how she reacts to it, because she's at this point where she sort of has like created almost a harem for herself, or like she's
It's
like
so good.
written the entire story and she's not even aware of it. She's like
Yeah.
so obsessed about thinking of her own doom that she's not aware that she's like created
Everybody
like a
wants to.
perfect world.
Everybody wants to fuck you.
yeah.
Literally
Like,
every
yeah.
person who meets you.
I'm not sure I want to see it going dark though. Like I can,
No, I don't want to see it going. I don't think I want to see it going.
I'm
ever.
terrified that episode 11 and 12, or whatever that last episodes are, is gonna add, because that always happens, right? Like it just goes on its merry way for a while. Then
Yeah.
last couple episodes, some big twist or awful thing happens, and then
I feel
it
like
gets really
it's
tense.
because like some producers are like, this show probably won't get a second season, so let's end it. Like let's
Yeah.
make it a show. Like that happens often, but I don't feel like it's gonna happen with Villainess. I hope it doesn't, because Villainess is good. It really is good. If it does that and like she doesn't like, I don't know, bust a nut inside like at least one of the girl characters or dude characters, I'm gonna be disappointed.
I've been like so distant from slice of life series for so long, but I think the one big appeal of Villainess is that like there is that goal, there is that thing that's driving her to actually form relationships, and it's slightly selfish, but at the same time not. Like every time she goes off and talks to another girl and like makes friends with her, it feels like it's progressing towards something rather than just kind of that
Yeah.
state of nothingness, which like I get the appeal of, but I feel like after 50 slice of life shows, it kind of gets samey.
Yeah, no, yeah. I definitely have been feeling a lot of anime has been getting samey.
Suck my dick.
It's always,
This guy, I'm just kidding.
I don't know. Villainous is just it's really, I don't know. For some reason, there's something that really feels fresh about it. I think it's just maybe how it displays or illustrates the plot and whatnot. I mean, maybe there's like less plot than there would seem to be in the very beginning, but I just really like the organization of the story, how she sort of like gets reincarnated into the villain character from like a young age as a child, so she gets to already build up from there, as opposed to starting at the beginning of the game. I feel like starting at the beginning of the game would be where most people would think to start, but starting at her childhood
Yeah.
maybe puts it on easy mode for the protagonist, but I really enjoyed those first 3 episodes when they were kids and whatnot.
Yeah, I like that. Like the underlying message of like sometimes all you need is just a helping hand, or just to ask someone like how they're doing, and that
Yeah.
can change everything. Even though she's
I feel it-
still panicking about everything, going, "Oh God, everything's gonna go awry. Someone's gonna stab me." Like, it's like, no, you've done it already. You fixed it. Now just learn to
Enjoy
it. Yeah.
But she's too obsessed with not wanting to die, so, and I think that a lot of isekai tends to be sort of like a redemption arc for the character who's getting sent into another world. And in this case, the redemption it's completely motivated, but not, the motivation isn't very scripted. The motivation comes from, something that's genuinely believable, a fear that you don't want to end up being exiled or killed because you know what's going to happen to this character. I love how the main character has the sense of dramatic irony that no other character has, so it puts her in such a position in comparison to maybe other characters in isekai stuff. because I think there's been plenty of other isekai anime where like a character gets thrown into like a video game that they've played before.
Yeah.
But they're always like maybe a new original character one that they're not like usually placed into the body of a pre-existing character that they've played against or with.
Yeah. It's quite cool.
Mm-hmm.
It's quite cool seeing. It's quite cool. Actually, I had nothing. I was going to say it's quite cool, and then I was going to say something that was quite cool, and now I've realised I don't have anything that's quite cool to say.
You know what's not quite cool, Callum?
What isn't quite cool?
So many anime got delayed, man.
Yeah.
It's like...
Oh, yeah.
It's Villainess is lucky, because Villainess's production was done before the season started, if I recall. Crazy. It's from Silverlink, which I did not expect. I don't know the context behind it, but having an anime complete before, like even KyoAni at its prime, like they'd only have like nine episodes. Like they'd be doing it. Not many series get completed beforehand. It's wild.
Is it like a Netflix backed show? Because there are some Netflix backed shows.
Oh yeah, that's true. That does happen occasionally. No, I don't think so. It isn't. I think in this season though, probably the thing that I was I wasn't most excited for, but I was looking forward to because I could talk to Matt about it because I know he'd at least watch it. And Matt mostly tried a bunch of anime this season because one, coronavirus, so he's bored. Two, because I guess we decided we were going to record AniPod. Opere Ranman, that got delayed, and that was disappointing.
Yeah. That got delayed super early on, right? Like it was only like a couple episodes in.
Yeah.
It's PA worked, so I'm not too surprised. Is it PA worked?
It is, yeah. And then Fugo Keiji, which Rotten Twitter went crazy over Fugo Keiji, as expected.
You went crazy over ReZero.
ReZero?
Yeah, ReZero got pushed back a season.
Oh, yeah. That got delayed. That was like... They delayed that shit like 4 months ago. That was before coronavirus, wasn't it?
No, that was because of coronavirus. That was like...
That was like the first one that got delayed. The thing that really fucking hurt me was Snafu Season 3. Because... I made a video, wow, and like 2 of the anime I talked about in that video like just didn't come out that season, which is fucking great. And Snafu was number 1. It's like put so much heart into it, and it's like, oh, it's gone. But I'm scared of what summer's gonna be like, because it's still, everything's not done. Like Japan's kind of like been acting like everything's normal, so we'll see.
Kind of.
There was like it wasn't that long ago that like studios started working remotely.
Yeah, I've seen some animators tweet about like being like, fuck this, like I need to be at my desk, that sort of thing.
Yeah, I can't help but think that some of these like, oh, we're delaying it to July, we're delaying it to summer. I can't help but feel like some of that is driven by the assumption that they're going to be back at their desks like next month or the month after.
Yep. I mean, that's how anime works. So it's like, that's why I'm so scared. I'm like, I don't know if Snafu's actually gonna be coming summer. It's like, good, stay safe and all that jazz, of course, but just arrow straight through my heart. Just fucking take me the fuck out. I was looking up a noose on Twitter when that shit got delayed. I was like, no.
Railgun got delayed too, didn't it? Or a few episodes?
A lot of episodes.
Railgun got delayed it keeps, constantly.
Yeah, it's been getting, like, I was watching it. I stopped watching it because I was just like, I'm just waiting for it to be out. Railgun's really good, by the way. I know you two don't watch it, but fucking great.
I've seen the first season of Railgun.
First season of Railgun, fucking great.
I kind of watch it over my fiance's shoulder.
Oh, look at that drop. My fiance.
Callum May is getting married.
Oh yeah, but since the last AniPod episode, you got engaged.
Yeah, it was like
but AniPod hasn't existed for 2 years.
AniPod was 2018. Yeah.
I mean,
we're all 2 years older now.
What do we do when AniPod turns 18?
When AniPod turns 18?
Yeah.
How old will we be then? Like, if AniPod's 5 years old now, that's like...
Are we considering the very, very first AniPod? Like the original episodes? Or like the episodes where us 3 started?
We don't talk about the old AniPod.
Let's not talk about the old AniPod.
We don't talk about our AniPod episodes. But yeah. It's interesting where life, like these two live in Japan. I think we recorded an AniPod when you were in Japan. Maybe AniFix.
I think that was AniFix.
No, we recorded an AniPod and an AniFix in Japan.
Oh yeah, I've been to Japan.
did.
I've been to Japan. I've been to Japan now.
Yeah, you went to Japan.
Yeah,
you went to Japan right before this whole pandemic happened.
Yeah, I totally missed you.
Yeah, you fucking did. You fucking cons.
Yeah, guys, everyone. The day that Glen landed in Japan was the day that Callum left Japan, and the day that Glen returned to America was the day that Callum returned to Japan.
I was actually trying to
You planned that? I don't know.
I was trying to work.
Callum, I don't believe anything you say, but go ahead.
I was trying to work out like what time things would be happening. So like, would I return like just before? Like, could I catch you on the way to the? But no, I think it was like you were leaving early. I was arriving late.
It's okay. I'm probably gonna live in Japan like you two anyway, so...
Yeah, I've been trying to convince Glen to move
Try to
Japan.
convince me. Go to, like, the first AniPod episode. It's probably me saying, fuck literally everybody, I'm gonna go live in Japan, even though I, like... and, like, back then I probably thought, when I get to Japan, I won't be a loser anymore. Now, I know I'll always be a loser, but I'll be a loser in Japan.
Yeah.
That's how I've matured.
It's a good place to be a loser in.
It'd be a great... Especially as a... Never mind, I'm Japanese. I'm not white. I'm sorry. I almost fucked.
Oh, yeah.
Almost fucked up. But they don't give a fuck. They don't give a fuck. The people listening. Summer has so many fucking sequels. I hope some of them get delayed. Honestly,
I'm holding out for Decadence.
Decadence? I don't even know what that is.
It's the Mob Psycho director.
it's being done by my favorite studio. It's
Yeah,
Studio
Nuts.
Nut, right?
Yeah.
Studio
Yeah.
Nut.
Where have they been? Have they even done anything since Yojo Senki? I think they may have worked on like the new Fully Cooley, but besides that, I can't think of anything.
Oh, there was the. You're just
I
thinking
completely
movie.
forgot that came out.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like annual shows, which kind of says that like it's a team that wants to actually maintain quality.
Rare, and those teams usually die quickly, so let's hope for the best. But I didn't know that this show was coming out actually, because I love Tachikawa, right?
Yeah.
Yuzuru, right?
Yeah, yesterday it was. Oh, I'm dating the podcast. But on the 15th of May, it was announced that Kiyotaka Oshiyama is doing mecha designs for the show.
It's gonna be 2D. Is it gonna be 2D?
Yeah, it's a 2D show.
Oh my god, that's so fucking rare nowadays, man. I'm so happy actually. Holy shit.
2D mecha show?
Yeah, 2D mecha.
Where the mechas aren't 2D.
Oh,
Wait, what?
Wait, where the mechas are 2D, or just like where the entire like the general show is 2D but the mechas are 3D?
Don't get my hopes up.
Kiyotaka Oshiyama like designed like the demons of
Wait, it's Kiyotaka Oshiyama?
Yeah.
doing mecha designs, which is why I don't think that the mechas.
The director
would
of Flip Flappers?
Yeah.
Kiyotaka Oshiyama?
Yeah.
Shit. Okay, fuck, I'm interested.
Yeah, like, but that's why I feel like the mechas. Why the mechas might not be CG, because it feels like his design sense, like that fluidity, just wouldn't work in CG. But I might be wrong.
Not with where Japanese CG is at right now. No.
Thing is, if he's only doing the designs and he's not actually like anywhere else on the team, then it might be CG.
Oh, if he's not like an animation director.
Might
he's
be.
not.
It
I
feels
don't.
cruel to bring him in to do CG designs.
There's no
though.
way. There's no way. I miss 2D mechs so much. Like, 3D mechs they don't hit the same, man. They don't hit the same.
Do you know what I miss? I miss 2D cars.
Oh, yeah.
No one misses 2D cars.
No, I've been
Nippon.
watching some retro 90s anime. Fuck, I can't remember the name of it right now, but there's this 90s anime where it has a really, really cool car chase. Like drawn, like the 2D cars are drawn, cars are drawn in 2D, and it's like this car chase outside of Chicago. If anyone remembers the name of that anime, it's like I think 2 episodes is an OVA or something.
I was being sarcastic. It's just that like cars have been CG for so long at this point. Like even you know like I always remember the specific shot from Munto, that like one of the first KyoAni productions. It's just like this short like OVA thing, and like the second one that it's just this fucking CG car, and it's like from the 90s. It just looks so shit. I feel like CG cars they've kind of started to get the hang of cars at least.
Yeah.
Shirobako was a good example.
Oh yeah, Shirobako. Oh, you watched the movie, didn't you, Callum? How was it?
I didn't watch the movie.
You live in
didn't come out in
you live in
subs.
Japan.
It didn't come out in
And
subs.
coronavirus and all. sorts
Yeah,
of
it
things.
actually came out like right
Did it?
Yeah,
you're right.
Yeah, Diamond Princess
during
time,
the pandemic.
which,
Yeah, it came out in February.
Callum, go get yourself killed, please.
The
Support
movie
it.
theaters are closed.
I think they're gonna rebroadcast it.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
Probably.
They have to.
Like,
they have
They
to.
have to, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they released Tenki no Ko on Blu-ray early in Japan because of the
Yeah.
pandemic,
Net-
which I still have to watch.
Netflix managed to scout out the Colorido and Mariokida film. So
Oh
that's
yeah, I'm
going
excited.
to-
I'm excited for that one. I'm excited for that
Wait,
one.
which one?
It's called A Whisker Away. It's about like a girl who turns into a cat to like get closer to the guy that she likes.
I really like Colorido, especially after Penguin Highway.
Penguin Highway is
Yeah.
great.
Penguin I loved Penguin Highway so much. I loved Penguin Highway.
I love that Colorido like is really like ramping up stuff. So now we've got Pokemon Twilight Wings every month, except this one.
Oh yeah, I completely forgot they're doing that. Oh, those are so nice. Those are so nice. A shame that the game sucked ass.
Yeah, I know.
I'm still gonna buy the fucking expansion pack because I'm an idiot. I just love Pokemon. I don't care. Take my money. I can't blame Pokemon Company when like they're being forced to like push out these games every 2 years, but it sucks.
Yeah.
I didn't even like Sun and Moon that much, but Sun and Moon was fucking miles ahead of Sword and Shield.
The show for Sun and Moon was great.
Yeah.
Have you finished it, Callum?
Sun and Moon anime.
Yeah.
I'm very close to the end.
You're fucking further than Matt.
I'm doing it with.
I'm halfway through. I'm way further than you.
I'm going through with the DVDs
that
that I import from Australia because I want to watch the.
What a backwards way of doing it.
I know.
Wait, you're in Japan and you're like...
Oh wait, you're watching the English dub of it, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm watching the English dub, and
Callum.
my PS4 only runs Australian disc.
Callum. I know it's Pokemon, but even the English dub for Pokemon is...
I think the English dub for Pokemon's alright, except for Lily's voice.
Lily's the best character.
with
you
the
can't
worst
watch
dub.
the English dub of Lily. If Lily is fucked up, the entire dub's fucked up.
She sounds like a joke voice. Like,
That's why I hate dubs.
Yeah.
All of them sound like joke voices.
I tried to watch the first episode of Grand Blue Fantasy in English dub just for the hell of
Oh.
it, and I hated Vern with a passion.
I can understand Pokemon, man, but you can't do like late night TV anime with dubs. No. That's a bad idea.
It's probably just that I'm not. There's some shows that I've watched in dub. I watch a lot of Netflix shows in dub.
Netflix actually gets like a couple of the good dub studios. And when I say good, like if anyone fucking knows me, they know I don't actually fucking mean that. When I say the word good, I'm just being nice because I'm not like how I was like 7 years ago, where I'd literally tell somebody you're experiencing it wrong. People can experience it any way they want. I just think you're a fucking idiot when you experience it with the dub. I'm just not gonna say it.
Unless it's on a podcast.
Yeah.
Just don't watch the dub of anything. No Italian dubs, no Spanish dubs. Just, I don't know. Watch it and watch whatever in its original language. It kind of defeats the purpose.
I don't want
of the
to. I don't
storytelling.
want to read.
There's so many nuances that you can't translate into another language, like verbally.
Honestly, I do feel like English dubs are like. I think if you watch the English dub, I'm not gonna. Okay, I was gonna say I'm not gonna say this and then literally say it, but I'm gonna say this. You're basically watching a different show than me, in my mind.
Oh, I think
is-
it's definitely a different
Yeah.
show.
Oh,
and
it's a different show for sure.
I think that's okay. I just want people to acknowledge.
Yeah, it's a different experience. And I think there's some shows that genuinely, like, there are some shows that I think work better with a dub. There's very few that I think that's the case for. None of them are comedy anime.
No, God, no.
You can't translate comedy.
I mean, you
can.
can.
You can, but
you either
you
have
can't-
to try
Has
really
to be
hard
new
to make a
tropes.
new
Things.
joke,
Yeah.
or put a translator's note, which is like the worst.
TL notes are bad. Just learn the fucking language if you want TL notes, bro.
Oh, I didn't understand that joke. Let me just have it explained.
there. That's what you should tell You should tell everybody that. Just like learn Japanese.
That's
No
what
need
I
to
tell.
watch
That's
this.
what I
Learn
tell
Japanese.
people. People like in the like I fucking like when Princess Connect the anime started, it got like a bigger Western fan base, which is good. But like in some of the Japanese tweets, I've seen people like fucking begging Cygames to like make an English version the same way they kind of made an English version for Grand Blue. And good, I would like that. I would like more people to play pre-con. But shut the fuck up. Learn Japanese.
Wait, why wouldn't it?
That's my answer to everything.
Wouldn't that be a good thing?
Oh, I said. What do you mean? I said it'd be a good thing.
Okay.
I'm not advocating against it. I'm just saying, shut the fuck up.
Okay.
Listen, I learned Japanese just to jerk off. Like that says a lot about me, and I feel like we don't have to elaborate on that.
I mean, I guess it is strange for some people to watch so much anime and not even pick up on any Japanese.
Or it's Matt, I would rather have that than people act like they know any Japanese because they watched a lot of anime. I would much rather have that. Oh Jesus. Callum? Oh yeah, when we were in Japan, Callum, I don't use Tinder or anything, but I installed Tinder just to look at Japanese Tinder.
Okay.
And I just
Why are you saying this?
I just thought it was really funny.
Okay.
Because I switched to guys and I started scrolling through the guys and I found so many foreigners in like their
Really?
Did you?
Yeah, I got bored. I was really bored one night, Matt. Everyone else was gone to bed and I couldn't fall asleep. So I switched my Tinder to males as well, and I was looking at all the dudes, and there's just all these foreigners who like in every single one of their bios, I like anime. Literally every single one. Every foreigner I found. If there was English, there was anime in it. Some of them would type the entire bio in English and then just have like anime in like
katakana?
Yup, in the katakana.
Oh my god.
Oh no.
You want to know something? They probably got more matches than me.
Don't say that.
No,
I don't want to think that.
This is AniPod. I'm just being self-depreciating. That's also just my personality. But what the fuck were we talking about? I just thought about it because I was just thinking about. Oh, I can't wait to go back.
But you mentioned anime, so
I did. I mean, most of AniPod was, at least later AniPod was definitely us just bullshitting and not really talking about anime. Because back then,
because Callum and I stopped watching.
Back then, you guys really did fucking stop watching anime.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember like I'd go see a couple of anime films, and then that would be my one contribution.
I remember watching the first episode of a bunch of season O's, and then I would just give my opinion on that.
Yeah, and I'd always you'd give this like heavy opinion on show, and I'd be like, "How many episodes you watch? Shut the fuck up, dude."
That was like YouTubing though. Like you would watch as minimal episodes as you can, so that you can get out a video on that and speak with some authority. Although
Callum, you had the Vital 3.
I had literally I tried to figure out a way to have a review of an anime before the anime had completed.
Yep. That way,
so I called it, instead of calling it
boys.
First Impressions, I got ahead of everyone else. That's what the entire Canipa effect is built on. It's built on lies.
You're a trend maker.
Yeah.
A lying trend maker, I guess. That is the Canipa effect. The Canipa effect, if you want to know what it actually is the effect of you falling for Callum's lies and trying to imitate it yourself.
My god, I actually did like make some troll videos in the past as well.
I miss the old days of making troll videos and just kind of making people angry.
Actually having fun making videos? Wild.
Yeah.
No anime YouTuber does that.
At that point, it was just...
No, everyone... You can get cancelled on Twitter now. So.
Yeah.
And I'll probably be cancelled on Twitter just for saying that you can get cancelled on Twitter.
Maybe that's why AniPod stopped. AniPod got cancelled.
Yeah.
We should stop before we get cancelled again. It was fun. Let's never do it again. Maybe.
This is the end.
We will do it again.
Until
hopefully
2021?
Yeah, I'll see you then. Hopefully Corona's passed.
Hopefully we're still alive.
God, I hope not.